Hello, everybody. It's Anna speaking. I'm so sorry for my voice. It's flu season. I heard that it is flu season also in UK. So you have to excuse me. And I will not talk for a long time, but I just wanted to give you some information and reminders here at the beginning of this amazing webinar with Carina Bentley about social media skills. So we will give a couple of minutes still for other people to join us, and we will start our webinar. So if there is anybody who is missing here, just write them an SMS, call them and tell them that we are starting, and this will be absolutely unique webinar. I saw that you appreciated so much the presentation of Carina during our ARIIX university meeting in Birmingham, and this inspired us to invite her as a main speaker to this webinar. I think that, you know, we are living in 21st century, so if we don't know how to work on social media, we are missing a big part and big potential. So today we are trying to fill in those gaps, and we will be learning too, you know, because what to say, you have to learn all your life, and I'm learning from Carina a lot every day while she's doing her lives on Facebook, and I'm there to learn during the lives of our representatives, and this is a superpower. I know that after every live, so many prospects reach out to the authors of those lives, and they want to know more about our company, they want to know more about our business. So this is a huge power there. So stay here, listen attentively. Of course, the webinar, as usual, will be recorded. So if you miss something, it will be easy to learn even further on. But now I feel totally confused with this flu, you know. Just privately, I will tell you, never get flu. And if you get flu, get a lot of Vinali and Moa, because it will keep you going. But it's horrible to get a flu. All right, I'm done with my private information about my health. And now, Paolo, can we display the next slide? Because I wanted to remind you guys something very, very important. We have a qualification still going and lately open for Sicily. I don't know how many of you have been to Sicily. Sicily is an amazing island. It's totally hot. And beautiful island, and I'm now planning in these days, exactly, I'm planning all the entertainment that we are going to have there, and I can tell you, I can't wait to go there because I will be there too. It's amazing. And you know, the qualification rules are so simple. We kept it simple because we wanted you to take all your teams to that trip, and we have the rules at the second slide. So please, Paula, can you show the rules and remind the rules of this incentive trip? You need to generate 3,500 base commission growth to earn one ticket, and $6,000 base commission growth to earn two tickets. So you have to admit that this is really something easier than usually it is. I've booked hundreds of space and hundreds of places in the hotels there. We are going to stay in the Club Med village, which is a French all-inclusive 5-star village in a Sicilian, at the Sicilian beautiful beach. So it is going to be really awesome, and you shouldn't miss it. You shouldn't miss it for many, many reasons. So we will have our executives there with us. We will have lots of learning, lots of training, but we will have a lot of entertainment, all-inclusive parties till the very, very morning, as we usually do at our trips. So I invite you really to look at your commission statement now in your ex-office and plan your work till end June towards this trip. I'm waiting there for you together with our executives and our market leaders. So don't miss that, all right? Yeah, what do we have next? The second announcement and the last one is about Super Saturday. So you already received an invitation from us about the Super Saturday meetings. Those are the meetings under the ARIIX University umbrella. which are organized by our market leaders. The first meetings are going to be organized the first Saturdays of February. The first one with Carina Bentley and Darren Foy will be done in Manchester on February the 4th. I will be there too, so I can't wait to see those great leaders, how they deliver all this great know-how to our representatives. Don't miss those meetings. We organize them, of course, not for us. We organize them for you and for your teams, because I heard so many times from many people that you need to meet more often. You need to check with your fellow representatives how their job is going, which are their best solutions and best practices in this business. And this is exactly the best opportunity to meet your teammates, the people from other teams, and exchange the thoughts, the know-how, and just build something beautiful for the future. I'm absolutely sure that if we cooperate, if we do things together, then we can really have a beautiful ARIIX family and ARIIX culture on the UK market. So I strongly invite you to come to those events and learn from the best. And now this is a beautiful moment when I can go to bed and treat myself well with a bath of Moa and a huge amount of Vinali. And I leave you to our amazing Carina Bentley. Carina, thank you so much for joining us for this webinar. You will see Carina, because you know you have to see this lady to feel her passion. So I leave you the line, and guys, enjoy this beautiful webinar. Thank you, and have a beautiful evening.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you. And thank you to every single person that's taken the time to join me tonight. There are well over 300 of you now, which makes me slightly nervous, but I'm really glad I can't see all of you. So the webinar that we are going to go through tonight, I have made some notes, but Anna told me not to wear my glasses because then you can see my screen. So you have to bear with me if I might have to maybe put them on and off again. So after the presentation that I did in Birmingham, I had lots and lots of people coming back to me and asking me for additional advice and information on social media. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've built both of my network marketing businesses online through social media. And before I was in network marketing, I had a cake business, which I also built online to create a Facebook following of around about 76,000 fans. And that was done purely through online leverage. And there is a lot of things I've learned over the last 7 years about how to maximize your potential on social media. And a lot of those things I kind of touched on during the training that we did in Birmingham, but some of them I wanted to go into a lot more detail on. And as much as I'm going to be able to discuss some of it here, there's still going to be lots more of it. I'm trying to put out as much information as I possibly can onto my new business page through Facebook as well. So after this call, I'll be adding additional social media support on there as well. So the first topic that I wanted to talk to you about tonight is understanding and widening your networks on social media. Now, one of the things that I've kind of like noticed the most is that people aren't differentiating between who their hot network are, warm network and cold network. And it's one of the most important things that you can do, because I don't know whether you guys know this, but if you have a friend on your friends list who you haven't interacted with for more than 30 days, then the chances of them seeing your posts are 0. So a lot of you will be putting posts out on your personal page, and it's probably only going to be seen by the people you interact with on a daily or weekly basis. And they are your hot network, okay? The people that you interact with daily, weekly, and on more than one platform. So they're people that you see face-to-face, they're people that you see online, and they're people that you maybe speak to by text and by telephone as well. Now, those people, when you approach them through social media, I personally wouldn't advise that you approach your hot network through social media. I think if you see people face-to-face, and the face-to-face method is always going to be a better method of delivery when you're talking to people about the business or the products. Your warm network are people that you communicate with maybe once a week or maybe a couple of times a month, and you'll probably find that the majority of the people on your Facebook friend list are either your warm or your cold network. And understanding that your warm network is where the majority of your potential lies, is pretty important. It's just that you probably don't connect with them as much as you should, or you could do, in order to be able to maximise your potential in terms of your business growth. Now, I know that there's some contention over using personal pages for business, and it is something that Facebook are clamping down on, so I definitely don't recommend that you're putting out loads of like salesy posts, and you definitely shouldn't be putting prices or offers onto your personal page, but you should definitely be using your personal page as leverage to create your brand. Now, moving into that side of it, a lot of people have come to me over the past sort of few years when I've been talking and training people in network marketing and utilising their personal Facebook, and they're like, I'm not getting any leverage. You know, I don't think any of my friends are interested. And when we actually look at their friends list, you know, most people who have like between 300 and 1,000 friends on their friends list, and the ones that you're actually interacting with are maybe like 20 or 30 of them on a daily or a weekly basis. So you're actually only ever promoting or putting stuff out there to that section of people. The rest of them are not really seeing it. But there are some ways that you can increase your warm network traction, and the ways that you need to do that are by creating relationships and interactions. And one of the things that I personally teach my team to do is the 30 or 60 point system, particularly for your warm network, and then going on to your cold network, which I'll cover in a second. But for your warm network, you should be using a notebook, and I use notebooks for everything. I've got my ARIIX notebook here, and it's got notes for, you know, all kinds of things in here. And I write names down. And one of the things that I see people go most wrong with is that they think that because they've messaged someone in Messenger, they're going to be able to come back to it and find it, and it just doesn't work. So make sure you're writing names of people down. And each week, I would strongly suggest that you choose maybe 10 people on your warm network, and then 10 people on your cold network as well. And those 10 people that you have off of each network, you need to make sure that you go to their pages and you create interactions. And these are not things about the product or about the company, they're just general interactions and relationship building. And the reason behind that is because you know yourselves, if somebody that you haven't spoken to for maybe a month or even sometimes a year, if they suddenly appear on your page and they like something or they comment on something, then it's going to draw you over to their page to see what it is that they're doing, you know, where, you know, what they've been up to. And as long as your page is attractive, and this is something that you will need to consider very carefully, and I would urge all of you to look at your pages very, very closely and decide whether you are the kind of person that people want to join, the kind of person that people want to buy from. You know, are you putting negative videos out? Are you sharing profanities? You know, is there a lot of swearing on your page? Is there a lot of negativity on your page? Is there any drama on your page? You know, you really need to be aware that when you are a network marketing professional, that you are putting across a professional image, both on your personal page and any business pages or VIP pages that you've got, because people are buying these products from you. They're not buying them from ARIIX as a company. They're purely buying them from you as a person. So making sure that you create a good relationship with those people is going to be paramount. And doing things like creating a 30 or 60 point system. So most of the time I do 30 points in the morning, and then I do 30 points in the afternoon. And the way that I do that is I'll make my list of names, and I know that I have to create at least 3 interactions in a 7-day period for me to stay in their newsfeed for the following 3 weeks. All right, so that's one of the top tips I can give you. You can't just interact with them once and expect to bounce into their newsfeed constantly, because that's just not going to happen. So when you create these interactions, you're going to go onto their pages, and I would challenge you to do this. So before you check your own messages or your own notifications, make sure that you are accruing your 30 points. And you would give yourself 1 point for a like, so liking something on their page, 5 points for a comment, so just by adding a comment, you know, maybe they've posted a funny video, you know, just create an interaction. Maybe they've posted a picture of their kids, hi, lovely picture, you know, just simple things, how are you? And then 10 points for either a message or a post on their wall. Which means that you're creating a new interaction, and you're asking a question, you know, how are you? I haven't seen you for ages, what have you been doing? I've seen that, you know, make sure that when you pick this person, I would strongly advise you to go onto their page and write down 3 things about them that they've maybe done in the last month. So maybe they went on holiday, maybe they went to an event, maybe they went to a concert, maybe they've just had a baby or got married or got engaged, or they've got a new boyfriend or girlfriend. Make sure you're writing things down that shows that you've actually taken some time to have a look at what they're doing. Because remember that for the majority of people, they don't know that Facebook rule that if you haven't been interacting with them, that you know, they wouldn't have seen you for that long. Most people, that doesn't make sense to. So you need to make it look as if you've been interacting with them for a lot longer than you have. And the way to do that is to be able to take some time to scroll back through people's pages and actually have a look at what they've been doing. And, you know, for the majority of us, those people on our friends list, it's not because they're not our friends, it's just because we don't interact with them, because the people that we're generally interacting with in network marketing are our current customers, or our friends or family or our current teammates. And for me, when I understood this, it was like, oh my gosh, I've been preaching to the converted for so long, because I realised that, you know, the posts that I've been putting out there about the products and the recruitment posts, the only people that are really seeing them are my teammates and my customers who are already buying from me. So there was actually absolutely no point in doing it. And when you can broaden your network and sort of open your network up more by having conversations with people, then it creates an environment of trust, which is when people start to buy from you. Now, I personally have a 28-day rule with my cold market. I don't message anyone in my cold market for the first 28 days, and your cold market is going to take a little bit more interaction. So particularly if you're adding new people, and I would strongly urge you to be adding between 10 and 20 new people to your page every day. You can either do that through friends of friends, people you may know, or you can do it through groups, which I'm going to go on and talk about in a little while, of how to broaden your network. But with your cold market, one of the things I want you to all be aware of is hot network text is amazing, but it's hot network, so it should be only used for your hot and warm network. You can't have a one-size-fits-all approach and go out and send messages to everybody that say the same thing. Copy and paste messages are not going to help you, and they come across as disingenuine. And for me personally, what I see happening a lot, and I see this because I get messaged by people, and I've even been messaged by people within the ARIIX community who are either trying to recruit me or trying to sell me something because they've not taken the time to look at my page before they've sent the message. And the messages that you get come through, they're not worded very well. There's, you know, especially when this is your first contact with somebody, you know, there's spelling mistakes, or there's grammatical errors, or, you know, putting yourself across on a very unprofessional level. You know, you need to be very careful that you don't alienate and isolate your cold network. If you're going to the effort of creating a new network, then you need to make sure that you're doing that responsibly. In terms of broadening your network, so if you've genuinely exposed your network, or if you really feel that your initial network are not responsive to the posts that you're putting out there, then you need to make sure that you're creating a new network. Now, that's easier said than done, you might think, and yes, it's going to take some time and effort, but there are ways of doing it, and one of the best ways of doing that is to interact in groups. So whichever brand you decide to work around, or if you decide to work with 2 or 3, then you can obviously have a broader spectrum of groups to be able to utilise. But you need to make sure that, we'll go on to talk about branding later, but when you create, or when you find these groups, so there are yoga groups, there are mum and baby groups, there are dance groups, you know, there's literally a group for everything. There's holistic groups, there's nature, you know, natural product groups. There's literally something across every single spectrum of the entire ARIIX brands that you can find a group for. And when you go in and you find those groups, you want to be going into those groups and interacting, actually making friends with people. You know, in a lot of the time in these groups, there'll be posts going up about people, you know, can you suggest this, or I've got this problem, or I've got this issue, is there any suggestions? You don't ever want to go in and say, I sell this, you can try this. You just want to go in there and say, I've tried an amazing product myself, it's made a massive difference to me, and that is effectively networking in groups. You create new friends by sharing common interests. And, you know, when you do your DMO, when you do your daily method of operations, I would be strongly suggesting to you that you spend probably half an hour a day, or if you're only doing it part-time, maybe spend an hour a week or 2 hours a week, making sure that you're broadening your network by doing that, by creating new connections and genuine connections. When you add friends, you don't want to be going straight into them and messaging them and telling them that you work for a network marketing company, or do they want to join your team, or do they want to buy some of your products. You know, I wouldn't say, when you add a new friend, I personally don't message that friend for at least 5 days. And then when I do message them, I'll just message them with something like, hi, thanks for adding me, I really appreciate it, you popped on in my people that I may know. I saw we had a couple of friends in common, so I just wanted to reach out and say hi. Really simple, okay? You'll know whether people are going to be receptive to it there and then. And, you know, there's a lot of networking going on Facebook now, and I think you can very easily and quickly turn people off. Don't have everything over your page in terms of you being salesy. I personally would avoid having on your personal page that you work for the opportunity company, or that you have anything on there that relates to the fact that you're a network marketer, because if people can see that before they click the add button, then the chances are they're going to be switched off to you and they've already decided that you are a salesperson. Broadening your network is probably going to be one of the most beneficial things to your business, especially if you're an immediate, warm and hot network and not responsive. And as I said at the event recently, your hot network, I think for most of us who join network marketing, we kind of think that our hot network are going to be the most receptive to it, that our friends and family are going to be the ones that are going to buy the first bottle of mower, that they're going to try the first teeth whitening kit, and inevitably, you know, for most people, I'd say for 60% of people, the warm network are not the people that support them initially. They actually respond in a longer time than the cold network does. So make sure that the difference between you understanding that fact and you teaching that fact to anybody new that you bring on early days is going to be the difference between whether people become successful or whether they quit. Because helping to people to understand that how they deliver their sales on social media is how the first 28 days of their business is going to be successful, and creating intrigue around it is one of the most important things that you can do. Preparing people, you know, telling them don't go out there and just start posting that you've joined a new company. And what I gave you a list of words at the event. You know, you don't want to be using words on your Facebook page or by message that involve buy, sell, company, business, new venture, products. Make sure that you're being genuine. You know, make sure that you've got personal experience, and you're going to use those personal experiences on your Facebook. So next point, number 2. This is about personality colours and understanding personality colours. Now, there's a really amazing book. It's by Big Al Schreiter, and it's called The Personality Colours of MLM. There are 4 main personality colours. I'm not going to go too deeply into it. We actually did some extra training on this the other night, and I even learned some things on it. But I learned very early on about personality colours, and I think it was probably one of the things that set me in the best stead for understanding how to put information out there. Now, I personally predominantly are red, and for other people out there who are also reds, we are probably the least empathetic of colours, because we don't understand how other people function and work. So to give you a little bit of a rundown, if you are a red and somebody offers you an opportunity or a product or you know, or something like that, then your first response is going to be, how much is it going to cost me? How much am I going to make? You know, how much time is it going to take me? How successful can I be? They want to know about taking action. They want to know about facts, figures, finances. It's driven around success. They're very hard on their sales. They're very hard on other people, and they're very focused on getting the best potential out of any situation. So they're usually very career-driven, money-orientated, focused, and committed to anything that they give their time to. They tend to make decisions very quickly, so if they see something they like, they'll usually go after it very quickly. A blue personality is a presenter. It's somebody who's confident, who wants to have fun. So if you offer them an opportunity, the best way to offer them the opportunity would be to say that, you know, it's a great social situation, you have the opportunity to make new friends, you have the opportunity to go out and do parties and events, and they're going to make money in their spare time whilst they're having fun. So blue personalities tend to be presenters. They're the people that you want to attract in order to get the events off the ground. A yellow personality is somebody that wants to help other people. So again, they're going to look at the business opportunity or the product, and they're going to think, who can I help with this? Who would these products help? Who would the business be able to help? How many people's lives can I change? How much can I get out of this to help other people? And their first instinct is going to be to help other people. A green personality, now I have a green undertone, it's the nurse in me, so I like to deal with actual facts, scientific evidence, proof, documents. We like to know everything about everything before we get started. Now, fortunately for me, my red side is predominant over that, so I think more sort of laterally than that, but the greens in your business are probably going to be the ones that give you the most hard work. Okay, they're going to be the ones that ask you 50,000 questions a day. They're going to be the ones that want to know the inside out of the compensation plan before they even start to consider about signing up. They're the people that need to know every single ingredient in a bottle of mower before they would consider promoting it to everybody. And they can be a real bugbear, particularly for a red personality. And it's easy for reds to become quite impatient with greens. But what you should know is that the best leaders that I've seen and the best teams that I've seen across network marketing have one of each personality colour on their top line. They have one of each personality colour in their team. I'm very blessed to have one of each personality colour in my team, so we all work well together. We, you know, where one drops the baton, the other one picks it up. And I would urge you to start looking at people in your team and trying to understand what personality colour they are and picking up on their attributes, and try and understand which personality colour you are too. There are lots of people in network marketing who are able to chameleon between the colours. So they can understand and empathise and pick up off of all of the different colours, which is an amazing attribute to be able to have. And I think that's something which comes with experience. It certainly, for me, was something that took me a long time to sort of like develop and understand about the difference with personality colours. But once you can grasp it, you'll find it much easier to be able to promote to people directly. So when you do recruitment posts, when you do product posts, whatever it is that you're putting out there, if you can somehow add in, and if you go back and look through some of, you can scroll way, way back through my page, even back to when I was with my previous company, because with my previous company I probably put out a lot more recruitment posts with them. Whenever I did a recruitment post, I would make sure that I targeted something in it to each personality colour. So I would have something about the financial stability for the reds. I would have something about the fun, friendship and freedom for the blues. I would have something about being able to help other people and help people to change their lives, and the products help people to change their lives for the yellows. And I would have information about, you know, the clinical backing or the trials, or, you know, the additional training or the support. Basically, I'd have something in there for every single personality colour. So whenever people looked at it objectively, there would be something in there that was directly appealing to them. And you can do the same thing with a product post as well. And I would strongly urge you to look at your warm network as well, your hot network and your warm network, and when you're approaching them, set yourself a bit of a challenge by looking at their Facebook page and try and understand which personality colour you think is best for them. And once you can understand their personality colours, it's going to make your job a lot easier for reaching out to them, because they then become more relatable, because you understand what makes their brain work and tick. I was actually looking on iBooks on my phone the other day, and you can get the personality colours as an audio book. I think it was about £7, so you wouldn't even have to read it. I personally don't have time to read, but I often will put an audio book on in the background, more so recently actually. And one of the things I've been doing over the last few days is listening to ARIIX Go Pro. And there's lots of different network marketing legends, superheroes, whatever you want to call them, out there, and they have lots of different approaches and different attitudes. But one of the most interesting things that I found, particularly from what I was listening to yesterday, was that there was 3 types of network marketers. And I think it's never been more apparent with social media generation now who those 3 types are. There are 3 main types, and he said there's the poser, there's the amateur, and then there's the pro. And the poser is obviously the person that wants to put themselves out there. They're not particularly walking the walk, but they're talking the talk, and they project themselves as being either very successful, and this comes to a fake it till you make it attitude, which is something which I personally feel does not work, and it's something which is promoted across a lot of different network marketing companies, and I've seen it happen. And it's one of the things that gives network marketing such a bad name. And it's because people are doing it. Happened in my last company a lot. People are trained to fake it till they make it. I much prefer to follow a believe it till you achieve it approach. You know, you want to be putting posts out there, even if you haven't achieved an awful lot yet, if you haven't been able to buy a new pair of boot-on shoes, if you haven't been able to buy a shiny new car, or, you know, go on amazing holidays, then you need to be putting posts out there in terms of attraction marketing that are saying, you know, where you've been, why you joined, so where you were before, where you are now, and where you want to be. So you need to be putting it out there so it's relatable to people. So they're the people that we would consider posers to be on social media through network marketing. You want to try and avoid being that if at all possible. Amateurs, there's a lot of amateurs out there. Absolutely nothing wrong with an amateur network marketer. We all start somewhere. I swear to you, I've been all 3 of these personalities. And when I was listening to it, I've been the poser, I've been the amateur, and I'm hoping now that I'm starting to move into the pro approach. The amateur side of it is somebody who tries lots of different sort of tricks and tools to be able to get their information out there. So lots of different programs, lots of different systems, plugging people into loads of different things, which can actually become confusing. And we tend to move into the amateur phase as we start to build a team. So you need to be careful that you're not creating something which people struggle to replicate or duplicate. You're not confusing people. The key to network marketing is simplicity. You know, come in, do what you need to do, build your platform on social media if you choose to do it on social media, and you absolutely can, okay? You have to have the confidence to know that this business has to work for you, and that's one of the beauties of it. We do it for time freedom. You know, we want to be able to have this situation where we can work from our phones. And anyone who watched my live the other night, they were laughing at me because I don't use my laptop. In fact, I'm on my laptop now, but I built 2 six-figure incomes from my phone. So it can be done for sure, but you just need to be realistic with what you're trying to achieve from it. And by keeping it simple and building a trustworthy brand on social media, that's going to stand you in massively good stead. So the last type is obviously the pro. And the pro personality within network marketing is somebody that just gets shit done. That's as simple as I can say it. You go out there, you know what works, you know how it works, you go out there, you replicate it, you duplicate, and you teach it to other people. And the key to that part of it is teaching it to other people. Now, everybody's going to come into the business and make their own mistakes, particularly on social media, and some people are going to do it wrong, which is going to lead into the next part, which is going on to branding around the brands, understanding how not to sort of like discredit the ARIIX brands, and also about being able to promote without spamming. This part of it, in fact, I've missed a section which I'll come back to, which was about Facebook Live, but I'll come back to it. I'm going to go into this now. Branding around the brands. Now, this is something which is going to set you in really good stead. And if you can do this within your, when you have people come in, I would urge them to do it when they start. For those of you who are already way into your network marketing adventure, then you can still put these changes into place. But do look objectively at the brands. For me, I moved from a company where I built a 6-figure income on 8 products. So when I moved to ARIIX and I saw these 6 brands, I was like, oh my God, like what am I going to do with all these products? I'm never going to be able to learn about all of this all at once. And over time, what I've now learned is, and what I train people to do, is to look at their network. You know, look at yourself. What are your own personal interests? What are your... Oh, I've lost something. Sorry. You've been made the presenter. Okay. Sorry, I'm easily distracted. I'm like a magpie sometimes. So yeah, making sure that you understand where your branding is best laid is going to be one of the most important things that you can do. And what I mean by that is, like, for me, I understood I wanted to sell all of the products, and I am a aesthetics nurse by trade, so the skincare was a massive draw to me. But I had already been selling skincare in my previous company, so I felt that wasn't perhaps the way for me to go right there. I had children, so the prime oils were a bit of a draw. You know, I had people on my friends list who would definitely appreciate the prime oils, and the prime oils are a really good one in terms of like being able to promote to families. So if you are a mum who's at home, the Prime and the Revive are perfect brands because it's something that you can appeal to people with families on, because, you know, being organic and being toxic free and giving people an alternative to medication and chemicals is a huge winner in terms of families. So if you've got a lot of families, then maybe you should be aiming that way. For me personally, being in the fitness sort of industry, being very focused on fitness, the Nutrify was a natural way for me to go. And if you look at my page and if you look at my VIP group, although I do promote the other brands as well along the side, the brand that I focus on the most is the Nutrify range. And that's because I know that the majority of my warm and hot network are also focused on that avenue. They are also people who are into fitness and health as well. I know a lot of my cold network are the same. So I urge you to look conscientiously at your network of people around you and see what it is that you think that they're going to be most targeted to, and make sure that you learn that brand. So you've got to learn before you can earn. And if you are going to focus on branding yourself around a specific brand within ARIIX, then you need to make sure that you know as much as you can possibly know about that. And that's by following the 3-3-3 rule. This is something I've touched on before, but it's something I teach my team regularly. Whenever you start to learn about a new product brand, I would urge you to follow a 3-3-3 rule. So you're going to, in the notes of your phone, you're going to type in, you can go to the ARIIX Insight website, which is an amazing site for research. Go to the notes of your phone, save 3 document references, so 3 written text informations about that particular product. Save 3 images from Google Images, so you've got something to be able to use on your posts, whether it be in your VIP group, on your pages. And also save 3 videos. Now, YouTube has a ton of videos. Some of them are personal testimonials, some of them are professional ARIIX videos, but saving them and actually researching the product and that 3-3-3 rule means that you are going to be able to have lots of information at the touch of a finger through your phone in your notes section that you can reach out to whenever somebody asks you a question. And I would urge you to do that over time for all of the brands, but definitely with your first your first focus for your social media, for adding information online, you need to be making sure that you're delivering factual information, and you need to make sure that you're coming across as a trustworthy person, that you know your stuff, because people only want to buy things from you if they think that you personally use it yourself, you personally promote it, or your friends and family use it, and you've got actual testimonials from people. So making sure that you're protecting the ARIIX brands, and what I mean by that is making sure that we're not putting out non-compliant claims, making sure that we're not putting out unrealistic images, making sure that we're not devaluing the products, that we're not putting lots of offers onto personal pages or even business pages. You know, your offers and prices should really be kept for your VIP groups. And one of the things that is particularly risky early on in a company, particularly when we're in such massive build growth, which we are right now, and the same thing happened with us with my previous company. We built the company way up from where it was, and you all need to be responsible for each other. So we don't want people undercutting each other. We don't want people discrediting each other. We want to make sure that the information that's being delivered across social media as a whole is factual, that it's correct, and that it's compliant. And in terms of compliance, obviously, there are things like not making direct medical claims, not making obscure weight loss claims. I know that there's going to be lots of additional information going out from the company directly about compliance issues, but just act responsibly, because this is the way that we conduct ourselves on social media is really the responsibility of everybody who's utilising social media. Because trust me, we don't want to get ourselves into a situation where the ASA or the DSA are looking at us very closely and decide that because we're under scrutiny because of the way that we're conducting our business online, we need to make sure that it's being done to protect the ARIIX brand. And in return for protecting the ARIIX brand, but also protecting our futures and our legacies, we're not putting ourselves in a position where the company can then pull the plug on any products. We want to make sure that it's as easy as possible to get every brand or every potential new product that comes out onto the social media platform, and we can only do that if we're all acting in a responsible way. So make sure that you're not plastering ARIIX all over the place. I personally never mention about the company that I work for. I do mention the opportunity company when I talk to people directly through message, but I try and avoid it unless it's a specific post about the company's achievements or a specific project or something like that where I have to mention it. But when I'm promoting products or when I'm talking about personally using products, I never mention the ARIIX brand. I refer to the brands individually. I do refer to the products, and I think that over the last sort of year, some of you will have been maybe frozen by fear of putting information about the products out on your personal pages. For me personally, having built a business on social media, you have to show people what they're buying. You know, there shouldn't be a fear of promoting our products. And what I've seen across the ARIIX community since I've been in it is that people are paralysed by fear because they're being told that they're spamming or that they shouldn't be putting pictures out of the products. You should be putting pictures out of the products. You should be talking about the fact that you love them. You should be talking about the fact that you're passionate about them. Product placement is a really good one. If you go through my pictures, there's lots of pictures of me or pictures of my children or pictures of, you know, just food in general, and in the back of the pictures you'll be able to see the ARIIX brands. So you'll maybe see I've got the RestoreX, or if I've taken a picture of my bath, and you can see the Revive on the side. If I take a selfie sometimes in the mirror, then you'll be able to see a tube of Revive toothpaste on the side. Subliminal advertising on Facebook and product placement is probably one of the best ways to be able to put the information across without being too direct. So give that a shot. It's definitely worth a go. In terms of not being spammy, this comes, you know, one of the things that I've seen from lots of other companies, without mentioning any names, are people that, and we were encouraged to do it in my previous company. We were encouraged to post 3 times a day on our personal pages, business pages, VIP groups, anything we had. And that's when it comes across as spammy. When you're generically posting and when you're using copy and paste posts, and this is one of my biggest pet hates. And I see it happen in teams all over, even my own team, and it's frustrating. You need to make sure that you are not copying and pasting posts. If you see something that you like from another leader or another team player, save it to your notes or click the little arrow in the top right-hand side and save it. You need to edit it at least 25%, otherwise the algorithm on Facebook is going to block it. All right. When you see these posts going out, they look disingenuous, they look salesy. There's nothing attractive about doing that. So please make sure that you don't do it. You know, you can save this information, you can come back to it, you can reword it, and you can rework it. But make sure that you're not putting loads of spam into the into news feeds, because people just switch off to it. When you use a VIP group, you want to be able to build intrigue. So you can post things on your personal page like, really excited about this week's promotions that are coming up in my VIP group, be the first to see it. I'd love to show you the new content or the new value, or I've got a competition running. You know, you can literally create intrigue around your VIP page and get people added into it that way. When you use your VIP page, consistency is key. So if you've got a VIP page and you've got people in it, you can run competitions for people to add people, and I don't mean adding hundreds of people. I'm talking like maybe, you know, add 5 people and go into a prize draw for a bottle of mower. And when they add 5 people, you know, say to them, you know, just, you can even give them a template message. Just drop them a message. There's a competition in this group. It's about health and wellness, or it's about you know, clinically proven weight loss, or it's about toxic-free organic skincare. You know, whatever it is, then you say to them, this is what you're going to send them, and as long as they're happy with it, you can add them into that group. VIP groups and the consistency and the value that you put in them is really, really important. I'm going to go on to talk about consistency and value across 2 separate platforms, because VIP pages are fantastic, and the reason they're so good is because Facebook cannot limit who sees your posts in them. So if your potential customers or prospects or whoever it is are in that VIP group, then Facebook cannot block people from seeing those posts. Basically, when the post goes in there, everybody in the group will get a notification there's a post in there. Everybody will see it, okay? Facebook pages, business pages. Now, I obviously built my cake page through a business page. I had a business page before in my last company, which I used for the products, and I used to promote the products all the time. And now I've only recently set up a business page for this, but it's actually based around prospecting rather than about the actual products. However, what you need to understand is when you set up a Facebook business page, it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get any traction through it. In order to get the traction through it, you need to have people interacting. It's not just about how many people that you can get to like it. People need to interact on it. So you need to be encouraging your friends, family, teammates, whoever it is. You need to make sure that you're encouraging them to actually utilize that page alongside you. You know, you need to make sure people are liking things. And one of the ways to beat the algorithm is if you have a post that has more than 20 comments or more than 20 likes or 20 of each, then it will beat the algorithm and the views on it go up something ridiculous like 60%. It's crazy. So, you know, work as a team. When you've got a particular team around you, whether it be upline, sideline, downline, crossline, whoever it is, make sure that you're all working together to support each other on building a platform on social media. A post that goes out that has comments and likes on it is going to attract people more to read the content of it than a post that has nothing on it. Nobody wants to be the first person to like or comment a post. And the great thing about ARIIX is that we don't all identify ourselves as reps. In the company that I was in before, we all had these green, black and bling profile pictures. We were literally screaming that we were reps to people. So even though we used to interact on each other's posts and support each other, it was very apparent that we were all reps. Whereas within ARIIX, you know, we've all got personal experiences, we've all got customer experiences, we've all got testimonials, so we should be working as a network. And it's not even just about who's in your team or your downline. Any of you, if you see a post that somebody's put out about a product or somebody's put out, and you guys do it for me all the time, and I'm hugely grateful for it, but you know, you should be doing it with each other as well. You know, show support to each other, make sure that you're commenting on things, liking things, and that you're adding value as much as you possibly can. And it's going to be the same for you on a like page. So when you put your like page out there, again, I urge you not to put prices on. I urge you can put offers, information. You need to add value. You need to add interactive posts. So maybe scroll through Instagram or Pinterest, find some information about your particular chosen brand area, whether it be, you know, if you've chosen something to do with mums and babies, then you can maybe find references or blogs or videos or home workout videos. Whatever it is, you need to make sure that you're adding genuine value and content. And you do need to follow the 3-3-3 rule the 3 rule on that business page for at least the first 6 to 8 weeks. So you're going to have to post 3 times a day. And just to recap, I know you've probably all heard me say it before, but the best times for traction on Facebook are between 7 AM and 9:30 AM in the morning, between 12 PM and 2 PM at lunchtime, and in the evening it's going to be between 7 PM and about 11:30 PM. And you want to be making sure that you put a post out at least once in each of those times. Now, there are lots of different apps that you can use. There's Buffer. There's also a scheduling facility on all of the like pages now, so you can actually schedule posts. But just remember that any third-party app that you utilize for a like page is going to reduce your views by between 25 and 50%. Buffer is actually one of the worst ones. I think that reduces your views by something like 47%, particularly if there's no interactions on it. So just be aware that, yes, it's great if you're on the run and you don't have time to post in that particular time frame, but don't use it as a method to consistently post, because it just won't work. With your like page, creating that interaction and posting 3 times a day within your first 6 to 8 weeks, and then keeping that consistency afterwards, is probably one of the hardest parts and where I see people fail most. Like pages work very well. But what happens is people get lazy. So even once they've got the interaction going after 6 to 8 weeks, then what they do is they stop interacting on it so regularly, and what they start to do is do this paid advertising, or they'll boost posts. So they'll maybe only posting it once a week, and then they'll boost that post. Now what happens is when you boost a post, so for those of you who don't know, I could like put a recruitment post out, or I could put a product post out, like maybe from mower testers or something like that, and I could boost that post. And when I boost it, there's a couple of different things that you can do, but if you just do a basic boost, basically you'll have a few options. So you'll have like a £4 a day boost, which will reach maybe like 1,000 people, and then you have like £16, £38, all the way up to like £80 or £100, and that's for a day's boost. But what happens is people tend to overuse the boost option, and people will do maybe 5 or 10, £3 or £4 boosts in a month, and it doesn't work. What happens is Facebook clicks onto it and it says, oh, okay, well, they're going to boost regularly. So it will give you really good traction on your first boost, but then once they click onto your rhythm, they literally follow you like the algorithm. They follow how many times in a month you boost, and they'll reduce the level of views that you get. Now, the best times to boost a post are Sunday nights or Wednesday nights. And when you boost a post, there's also a best time of the month. So I always boost product and recruitment posts middle of the month and end of the month, always on payday weekends generally, because that's the times when you're going to get the most traction. There's most of the customers, people have got money, that's when they're going to be looking at things. And the good thing about doing it in the middle of the month and the end of the month, I try and do it over the time period before they've got any money, so you're appealing to those people who are looking for an extra income stream. So you're appealing on the negative, and then once they've got money, you're appealing on the positive as well. So make sure that when you're boosting those posts, that you try and only do it twice a month rather than doing it week in, week out. And I would urge you that rather doing it like £3 or £4, 5 or 6 times a month, go with a £30 boost twice a month. Okay, if you're going to spend money on boosting posts, then do it that way. In terms of targeted advertising and creating advertising that works for your Facebook for your like pages, you can set up different audiences. And this is, if you go into your advert manager, you'll be able to see there's about 8 or 9 different categories, and I could literally target my post to go out to people who live in Jersey in the Channel Islands who are interested in trampolining and they like fish. But that's how targeted I could be. I could be really, really targeted. So once you've got your like page up and running, and the more interaction you've got in it, the better that the targeted posts and adverts will work. But I think there's about 15 different categories that you can actually like bring it down to in terms of activities, interests, and you've all got them on your pages as well. If you actually go and look, when you started your Facebook page, you would have had interests. So you could even target it down to like people who like the film Reservoir Dogs. All right, you can be very specific about who you're appealing to. So the massive draw with having a Facebook like page and being able to work it effectively, and I highlight you need to work it effectively, is that the potential reach that you've got on that page is paramount. It's huge. It's huge. So if it's something that you're considering, or if you feel that you're drawing a blank in terms of your VIP pages, then I would definitely start to look at a like page and make sure that you're following the information. I'm going to be doing more information and training on that on my personal Facebook page about how to create good traction on it. Let me go to my notes. Sorry, I'm going to have to put glasses on now. See, I told you I write notes and then I never actually read them. The last one that I have on here, just in case I'm missing anything, is Facebook Lives, which was actually point 3. Facebook Lives, amazing tools, okay? Really, really important, and you can do Facebook Lives anywhere. You can do them in your VIP group, you can do them on your personal page, You can do them on your like page, which is really great traction, which I'll come back to in a second. You can even create an event and do them in an event. So we do a lot of online opportunity events, we do a lot of online product events, and you can actually do live presentations in those events, which will help people to interact. And people love something that's live, so keep your videos quite short, to the point. If you're doing an opportunity event, then we break it down into 6. So I do like 6 small videos. When I'm in an event, I keep my videos short and to the point. However, when you go out live on your personal Facebook, a like page, personal Facebook or a like page, you want to be making sure that ideally you're online for at least 10 minutes, because that's when the highest traction really kicks in. Make sure that you're encouraging people to like and share the material that you're putting out there. You want to reach out to a wider network and encourage people to interact on it. And after you've done the live video, make sure that you're going back and replying to every single person that has commented on it. If you tag the person that's commented on it, so say for example, Emma Jones has commented on my status, "Hi, great video, can you tell me more about X?" I would respond to her at Emma Jones, so I would tag her, and then I would respond to her question. One of the things I learned the other day from Pete was, he was saying you can actually respond to people's comments now with videos. So you can actually record a short video responding to people, which again creates more traction, which is amazing. It's a really good tool. I'm planning on using that myself. By going back and responding, it bounces it back into people's news feeds. Don't ever respond to more than 10 people at a time. Okay, space it out, leave at least 2 or 3 hours. And if you do a Facebook Live, don't post anything else on your Facebook for at least 2 hours afterwards. That was another trick that I learned, because it mucks up with the Facebook algorithm. In terms of your lives, when you put the lives out there, this is a big one, and it's something I always forget to tell people. Make sure it's set to public. Please make sure it's set to public, because people cannot share it if it's only set to your friends. So you're limiting your reach hugely, and you can actually go back and edit. If you've already done Facebook Lives, you can go back and edit the privacy on them so it goes out public. But what it means is that what would happen when it's set to public, when your friends comment on it, if it's not set to public, their friends won't see it. They won't see that they've commented on it, so it creates less traction. By making sure that it's set to public, it bounces it back so many more times, it increases the reach massively. And by leaving like 2 or 3 hours in between every block of 10 comments that you reply to, that's going to create traction too. One of the things that I do quite regularly, which some of you may or may not have seen, is that with my old Facebook Lives, and I've got Facebook Lives going back like 2 years, particularly that are based around business or network marketing, which are quite generic, every now and again I'll go back into them and I'll comment on them and I'll just like bump them. And as soon as I bump them, it puts it back into all my new friends' news feeds as well. So all the new people that I've added are then exposed to a video that I've done maybe 2 or 3, 4 months ago, and they get to see it again. So make sure that you're resharing information that you put there, that you're putting extra value to it, and that you're setting it to public, because Facebook Lives are the way to go. They really create great interaction. You know, you can do question and answer sessions, you can talk about the products in your VIP groups, you can actually come across as a lot more genuine and real when you do it through Facebook Live. I think that's it. It's now 5 to 9. I've spoken to you for like ages, I feel. I think that's it, but I know Paolo did open a question section.
Yes.
So I don't know. He did. Yay! I don't know whether there are any questions, because I'm on my laptop, which I never use, as I've already pointed out to you guys. So if there are any questions, Paolo, you might have to point me in the right direction.
That's no problem. So yeah, anyone just feel free to keep sending questions. I have, well, I've been trying to answer as many questions as possible throughout the webinar, at least the ones I could. There is one question that's not for Carina specifically, but someone did ask about the qualifying dates for the Sicily incentive trip. So the date specifically, we don't have the particular date, because for commission reasons, we're doing it by weeks. But if you go on your X office, you'll be able to access on reports now. 2017 incentive, Sicily incentive, you'll be able to see exactly which weeks are the qualification weeks. Now, Carina, for you, someone did just ask if you have any tips specifically for Instagram.
Yeah, I do have some particular tips for Instagram. Make sure that you are not just posting. Please, for the love of God, don't just post. You need to make sure that you're searching hashtags. So search things like Transformation Tuesday, search things like weight loss transformation, search things like model, skincare, beauty. Actually search those hashtags. And when you find good posts from people, go and follow them. If you follow someone, make sure that you're liking at least 4 or 5 of their posts. Make sure you're adding some comments onto their posts, so then people will, it's polite manners for people to follow, so people will generally come back and follow you, so it's a great way of broadening your network. But make sure that you're congratulating people. People work on Instagram for recognition. Okay, so particularly with like weight loss transformations, Transformation Tuesday, that kind of thing, you actually want to be lifting people up and encouraging them to come back and see what we're doing, because even if they've already had a great weight loss journey, we've got the nutrition to support that and help them to keep that weight off after they've been through it. So make sure that you're widening your network by actually seeking out new people rather than just waiting for people to come to you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so another question would be, how do you create specifically lists from your friends lists?
Okay, there's a video in the School of Success which Leanne Fantini did, which is amazing, but you can't do it on your phone, guys, all right? You need to go in either through your PC or a laptop. You can do it on an iPad through Safari, but you need to go to your friends. And then once you've got your friends list up, there's a little drop-down box on the top right-hand of each of the boxes, and it's a long process, guys, okay? Click the box, and it will say add to list, create new list. So I have lists of prospects, potential Slenderize customers, potential Nutrify customers, potential Revive customers. I also have a very important list, which is called Friends and Family. So I actually have my actual friends and family in my newsfeed as well. And then I have, various different lists, which I update, by the way, every quarter. And it's really important to make sure you update your lists. So you have to go through them one by one, so it is ball ache, but once it's done, whenever you add new people, you can automatically add them to the list. Now, once you've done the lists, what that means is you can now post 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times a day, and you can just target it. So as you go to update your status, it will have a little box at the top which says your audience, which you can obviously have set as public, or you can change it to one of your lists or just to friends only. So you would change that, and what that means is just the people on that list are going to see it. It will still appear on your timeline to you, but nobody else will be able to see it, only the people that are on that list. But once the lists are there, you can also go to your home page, add the list to your favourites, and then when you click on that list, it will bring up a news feed of just those people. So it's going to make your interactions much, much easier.
Perfect. One other question, I don't know if you know this, but can pre-recorded videos have the same impact as live videos?
Yes, they can, but only if you put them out as a live. Go to Pete Fennell's page and watch the video that he did about XSplit. I used this on my cake page recently, and it created massive traction. I had a pre-recorded video that I put out as a Facebook Live, and I did it using a software called XSplit, and it created massive traction. The thing is with pre-recorded videos not going out as live, they're never going to get as much traction. But they're still effective. So whilst you're building up the confidence to move out of your comfort zone and actually go do a Facebook Live, then yes, I would still urge you to do. Your pre-recorded video is still going to get more traction than a picture or a post.
Perfect. Oh, by the way, guys, there's a lot of questions going past, so I might not be able to answer each one. But feel free to send us also an email after the webinar. I'll be trying to follow up with any questions afterwards as well. Okay, when you say like pages, is that just a business page or is it something different?
Sorry, say that again?
When you say a like page, do you mean a business page or would that be something different?
Yeah, a business page. So any page basically which you get likes on, yeah. So yeah, it's a business page, like page, same thing.
And there's someone also asking what was the software called for the pre-recorded video?
XSplit.
XSplit, okay. Perfect. I mean, I think for the frequently asked questions, that's about it.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Carina, for joining us and for teaching us everything that you know about social media, which we know is a lot.
I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours more, but I don't want to
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you remember all of that. So that was really good. Thank you very much.
No problem.
And for everyone else asking, there will be a recording of this webinar in the next following weeks. If you need the recording, just contact our customer support. We'll be sure to send a link to those who ask, and then you can spread it with your teams so everyone can know as much as Carina.
Thank you. Thanks so much for giving us your time, guys. Have a great evening. And James Lavelle, go on to James Lavelle's page right now because he's doing a live with Fred Cooper about why we're the #1 compensation plan. Get over there, show him some support. Have a
There you
great evening.
go.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good evening, everyone. Bye. Bye.